we go. We're taking this off. We're taking this off to expose the corner line of the ceiling against the wall. And sometimes...
And you don't want to pull that off too soon, do you?
No, because, yeah,
in case it hits the wall.
Yeah,
Once it's dry enough.
Yeah, and then sometimes up here, if that line is not perfectly clean,
yeah,
I'll take a small little piece of sandpaper and just hit so I get a nice clean line when I cut in.
Yeah. Would you ever think to have a need for that to be caulked?
Sometimes I'll do that. Yeah, I'll take the caulking gun.
Depending.
Yeah, like sometimes there'll be like there's a little crack right here. We just run a real thin bead of caulking.
Right.
And that'll leave you a nice line because you don't want to see any of the exposed cracks if there's any type of indentation.
Because I did notice something up there about where you pointed out.
Yeah, I feel it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it now a little bit. So that can be remedied with a little caulking, acrylic, paintable. Now you got to use paintable caulking when you're using latex water-based paints. Make sure it's paintable.
Right.
Because if it's not, if it's 100% silicone, the paint won't adhere to it.
You know, I've seen some stuff now where they claim it's silicone that's paintable, but you still have to look on the caulking tube to make sure, because as you say, some of it does not paint over.
Yeah, you're right on that. You're right on that, because yeah, some of it. And this wall will all be sealed off with a good PVA sealer before we apply our finish coat of paint. So we'll seal this off when this is all completely dry with a sealer.
You put PVA. Do you ever use flat paint for a primer? I do that quite often. I don't know if it's okay to do. It's always like I might have the same color of flat paint I'll put on the ceiling or something. I'll say I'll just throw some flat on here as a primer.
Yeah. Well, usually, you know, if I'm going flat over flat, I'll use the flat. But sometimes the sealers that have a different component in, if you're going to have a sheen on the walls, and if you use like a PVA, it gives a more uniform look.
Oh, okay.
Just to erase any error factors when you're applying it. You know, I like to get something on there that when I know that I've done everything I could to make it right, and then I can come back with a finish and they'll have a nice sheen, nice uniformity.
Hey, so what do you think they should put on the wall here? Is it going to be a semi-gloss, eggshell, what?
I think we're going to go in here with satin. Or eggshell. I think it can, because the semi-gloss is quite more shiny, you know.
Yeah.
More of a sheen. So in here, because the walls, this room kind of blends in here with the other room, the dining area. I think an eggshell would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of separate from the actual kitchen area, even though it's a kitchenette.
Yes, and we're keeping the ceiling with the flat.
That's going to be flat.
And then we'll go with a transition eggshell so it's not a drastic look. It'll be a nice finished look.
And then you'll put semi-gloss up here on this ceiling?
Probably so.
Up on it. Or what? Maybe eggshell?
We might. Because we got transition line here flat.
Yeah.
So if we go with the eggshell, you know, it'll kind of blend in better rather than stand out more. So
right.
It'll give you the same washability on your walls.
Yeah. Because there's not much wall area
No.
in this actual kitchen that's over the stove, because they're going to put tile or they're going to take this out and they're going to do something here. If that was all painted, you probably have to put a semi-gloss, but because they're going to put tile there, you wouldn't. And up on your ceiling, you don't necessarily need semi-gloss on an actual ceiling. It shows any imperfections and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the ceiling is probably going to go with the eggshell.
I think it would look best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a transition line, right?
Transition line.
Right in there, where the paint
just
color
a
is.
little bit of a sheen to it, just to set it off your kitchen ceiling.
Yeah.
And then with the taking those fluorescent lights down, and putting the cans in, give it a whole new look. More so cosmetically and lighting purpose too. Give it a brighter look in there with the putting the ceiling cans in there. More efficient LED lights.
Yeah.
More efficient in the days we live in, the efficiency of the lighting.
Yeah, these fluorescent lights were above a drop T-bar grid suspended ceiling. They weren't just like this from before. They had a ceiling in here, and all the panels were diffused 2x4 panels that fit in a T-bar grid system. We're taking all that off and making this look a little bit nicer. It's going to make the kitchen look a little bit bigger with the painted ceiling, different lights in there, and a higher ceiling, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, with just a little bit of money, they're actually changing out this kitchen area, making it look really nice.
In the next page. I run across people all the time that they're, they got some dang problems going on, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good way you're doing that.
Yeah,
Taking that off, rolling it up as you go.
Yeah, I get some stuff coming off the tape, but yeah, I try to keep most of it off. And then, it works sometimes.
I know the blue tape costs a lot more than regular masking tape, but it just seems like the way to go, huh?
Easier, comes off easier. Now, I use a lot of just regular masking tape from Kelly Moore, just like 3M. Like this here, that's the regular stuff. It leaves a nice edge, but the only thing with it is, like if you left this on for a couple of days, you'd have residue, but it get right off the same day. But this here, the blue, comes off easier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes if that's all you got, and you're doing a takeoff on the same day, it comes off quite clean. So you're getting, and then see, there's a line around here that's going to be exposed. Yeah. And what I'll do is, after I get this sealed, and I'll make sure this is all clean. And then what I might do is run, because it'll look a nice finished look with a bead of caulk in here.
Right. And you'll put that bead on before you end up putting the finished paint on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Because if I have to overrun it onto the new texture, I can cut a clean line with the paint. Yeah, because a lot of times. But this is. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out really nice because we've taken all the time for the prep work to get the outcome to be really nice.
It's all in the prep, baby.
It's all in the prep, man. Get all excited about hurrying up and do something. It'll look like a hurried up job, and you don't want to do that when you're doing something in your home. You want to get it looking good all the time.
Yep. Well, Jim, you're just about done for the day, it looks like.
About done for the day, yeah, cleaning up. We want to make sure that everything's kind of clean so when the homeowner comes home that we have a cleaned up area ready for the next go around.
Or at least you may not be done for the day, but you're done with this project for today.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it'll be good and dry when we return trip to finish it. It'll be all good and dried up, ready for the sealer. And the sealer will go on and dry really quick. So by the time I get it all sealed, wash the roller out, I'll be able to get right back into the finish.
Right.
And complete it.
So the idea is next time you come, you're going to do the PVA sealer and the finished paint all in one day.
All in one day, and caulk it and finalize the base, caulk whatever needs to be caulked. And when I walk out of here tomorrow, or that when I come back, it'll be done one day.
Okay, on the finished paint, you're gonna put one coat of PVA sealer for the primer, and then are you gonna put 2 coats of finished paint?
I'll probably end up putting 2 coats of finished paint, yes, to give it a good uniform sealed look. Because the other existing walls have got like many coats of paint.
Yeah.
Put 2 good, then you're done. You're sealed, you're done,
Yeah.
you're finished. You've got a nice, clean, sealed walls.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I've seen some people, they'll put 1 coat of primer and 1 coat of finish. And to me, it just seems like, man, why don't you spend a little bit of extra time and put a 2nd coat of finish paint on there and be done with it?
Because you're not talking about a major amount more material anyway, but you might as well get enough material on there where you're confident when you walk away, it's done.
Yeah.
Completely done. But yeah, I think that's the best way to go.
Okay.
And you know, paint-wise, you know, you're only talking probably about half gallon more material you can put on there just to get it sealed good.
Right, for a 2nd coat of finish
For a
paint.
2nd coat, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in it anyway. By the time you get around there, you're in it anyway. So might as well get it done.
Because if after the 1st coat, if you put a PVA sealer on, when you put a 1st coat of finish paint on, you don't just get, don't you get some of that bleeding into the PVA sealer?
Yeah,
to
exactly.
To a certain extent, so you still don't get a full 1 surface, 1 coat surface.
You want it to be fully covered, be sealed, and finish coat on there. So good washability, good sealing. So it all adds up to a nicely finished surface.
Yeah.
So yeah, indeed. So we're looking pretty good here. We got things cleaned up, sort of, to where they can.
I like that textured look, and it's still drying. It's all nicely uniform now. Nice spray texture. Man, you did good, Jim.
Thank you, sir. You aimed it, please.
Well, Jim, it looks like you've done a really good job. Thank you very much for coming out here and letting me tag along with the video camera.
You bet, yeah. We next process, one more step in the right direction.
Okay.